Welcome back to Cinema Corner. This is Alex. I'm with my co-host Josh.
And today we are going to be talking about Prey, the movie on Hulu. Bit of an odd movie choice for us to randomly make a review about, but considering the fact I have started to watch some of the Alien movies for the first time, I thought I'd watch my first Predator movie. And hey, started off with a banger. It's giving the lifeline to potentially watch the other ones. You were the one that recommended I watch this. So,
Yes.
Tell me why. Tell me why you thought this was to be a good starter film for me in the Predator series.
Well, I believe it helps that you did just kind of go through your binge of the Alien franchise, and these two franchises are so closely intertwined with one another. Of course, each individual franchise kind of deviates in their own way, but they do eventually converge with one another down the line. But I also thought that this be a good start because, technically speaking, this takes place. This is the first ever film, technically, that a predator is first seen in the earliest times. Technically speaking, and you're
Okay, so it
spent
is like
whole
the
time there.
OG. It's basically the first one they're trying to do in the timeline.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what it felt like, anyways.
Yes, it was like the very first one where you see a predator on Earth for an extended period of time. There's some movies down the line that show that they were on Earth prior, but this was like the first one where he's there and you see it, the whole thing unfold. And yeah, and it definitely teases certain things at the end of the movie that lead directly into the movies, like the very first OG Predator and even Predator 2. So yeah, I thought this would be a good way to introduce you to the Predator franchise and kind of like the rules of, the Predator. So yeah, and it was a really well made film. So
Yeah, it was. Very surprising that it's a Hulu movie, and it was so high quality. Yes, was there a few moments you can kind of tell the budget constraints were there, but none of those moments was it really like enough for you to care genuinely. Um, Otherwise, I mean, the movie was just kind of fun. Felt like just a classic slasher. Um, and it also followed the rules, kind of classic slashers of just some boys got main character, of course, being the hero in the end. But no, it was fun. I loved how they played with the Europeans basically being the ones that just get absolutely annihilated with their guns. That was definitely fun. I think they enjoyed just showing the predator hunting. Just them saying, "What if we just throw a bear in there?" Is a fun scene.
yeah,
It just really has not that big of an impact at all in the movie. It's just that they just threw it in there
I
for fun.
mean, yeah, the shock factor alone for, I mean, at least for like in her perspective, she's stuck
Yeah,
between this beaver dam and this fucking
shout
thing
out
that
Beavers, man.
yeah, they definitely made a sturdy dam there because
They did.
because that bear almost got her, and then that
Mhm.
that predator was like, so this is the alpha here. He picked him up over his head and gutted him that way.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm just saying the bear held its own though.
it
That
did.
bear,
It did. It did.
it was
It
throwing
did.
some haymakers out there.
Yeah, it was. But, it was at a disadvantage. It was trying to fight something that it couldn't see entirely. So, but yeah, it
I
was.
liked for all the animals that interacted with Predator, I liked the snake one. Just the first interaction of the snake sensing it and then rattling. That was kind of enjoyable. The bear was fun. Otherwise, and it kind of also slowly, as a person's first time seeing a Predator movie, of it alluding that it does not care about anything that is not either a threat or a hunter itself.
Yeah.
About it looking at the rabbit and as well as other animals. However, the one of the few scenes I was a bit confused about what was the deal with all the dead like cows and like bulls and all that?
That was the Frenchmen or like the
Oh,
Europeans.
they were okay. I totally did not
Yes.
catch that.
because in the first scene where she stumbles upon them, you see all these cows or like the bison, kind of like
Spice. Okay.
yeah, it was bison, so that kind
Okay,
of
that
goes
now
hand in
makes
hand.
sense. Yes.
Europeans killed off bison and everything like that, but they did it for sport. And you see, and she picks up a cigar, and then when she gets captured, one of the main guy has that same kind of cigar. So, yes, and they're wearing those kind of like pelts and stuff like that. That
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That was just some reason a detail. It just did not connect for me at all.
yeah,
But
no,
now
it
now
was
hearing that is a fun little toy of history there. Okay,
yeah.
cool. I dig that now. That's
Hmm.
more
Which
enjoyable
makes sense
scene.
why the predator then saw them
Yeah.
as threat. Yep, there you go. Yeah,
Okay. 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 So since you've seen the other Predator movies,
not all of them, but a good
but
amount of
still
them.
you've seen enough to at least give an opinion.
Yeah,
How do you feel then about this movie in comparison to everything else?
it's up there for me. And the reason why is because I love like the originals for what they are. Now they
Hmm.
feel a bit dated, but for the time, they were great. But this was like a breath of fresh air. I mean, from like the title alone, it's prey. It's not the predator. Every other movie is
Yeah.
like predators or predator. This one was prey, and this was centered around the idea of like, okay, yeah, you've seen in the past what kind of rules these predators follow, so let's make a whole film about that, and let's take it back to like kind of like the roots
Yeah.
and do a different spin on it. Because before it's been, I mean, I'm sure you are aware, like the main actor in the very first one is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that whole thing.
Yeah.
They wanted to kind of make it so that it's not military men; it's like just normal tribes, people here on Earth, to kind of like show you where it began and then where it's going to lead to. And I thought it was like like I said, a very good fresh a breath like a breath of fresh air. So
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that it was going into it. Obviously, knew very little of the Predator movies. Um, so as a newbie, it definitely brings me interest of if there was another one to come out, I'm gonna see it.
mhm.
So that's really all you can ask for of kind of like a restarter, whether it's a solo film or not. Which it kind of seems that like Alien franchise is following the same footsteps, obviously with their recent release
Yeah.
is they release a solo that fits in the timeline and it can be on its own if you want it to, or it could be, hey, are we going to make another one?
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
it works in two different ways too, because like they definitely leave it open in both cases here. They both leave it open for like a direct sequel to exactly what happened, but at the same time, it also leaves breadcrumbs for things that happen down the line on films that
yeah,
they've already done. So it's like if they don't make another one, it still fits in there because they definitely left some Easter eggs and some breadcrumbs here and there that like, oh, so that's how they get that, and that's how that happens, and stuff like that. But yes, but there's also like the possibility of we could do another film that takes place even like after immediately after that to kind of mediate between this little franchise that they're kind of restarting, sort of ish, and where we all know and where it's been established. But yeah, in terms of the film itself, just to give you a preface, I don't know if you've actually seen this. It's currently at a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, and this movie came out 2 years ago. And like I said, and I told you, this was one of those films that suffered because it was still kind of like, like the film industry was still kind of
mhm,
odd. It was like, are we going to do, same day releases on streaming services? Are we going to release in theaters? And this was one of the films that unfortunately went straight to streaming and never got a chance to be in theaters. But I mean, it was huge when it dropped on Hulu. It got a lot of ads on TikTok, and critics liked it. 94%, 7.1 on IMDb, and yeah, like I said, it came out 2 years ago, and it's not that long of a film, an hour 40.
no, it wasn't, and I
It's like
think the
nice,
time,
short, and concise.
yeah, they use their time well. I mean, it's hard to make a slasher kind of movie like this longer than two
Right.
hours, anyways. No, I think they did a good job. I also think that they did a good job at the slow build of how she was going to beat him. How was she going to beat the Predator, alluding that she has multiple talents, and then utilizing the fact that she was able to use like local herbs to beat and be basically cold-blooded almost. That was I think that was definitely my favorite neat detail of the film, was how they did that. And then allowing it then to use his own helmet, face mask, whatever at the end.
Yeah.
It's a little cheesy, but it was dope.
Yeah.
I liked it. It worked. It worked.
It does work. And there's, definitely there's some weaknesses that you see that it has. Obviously, if you continue down the franchise, it'll be coming back, and there's definitely some others as well. But what'd you think of the main actress?
I thought she did good. I do not recognize her from anything.
That's right, because this was her first film.
That's kind of nuts. First major film being the main character of a iconic franchise.
Yes, and they wanted to do it because, if you've noticed, majority, I think there's only one character that's not like main character that's not of that religion and area, and that nation, and that would be the actor that was playing the Predator. But other than that, everybody else was I can't remember exactly what tribe that they are, but it's
seriously
I can't remember. But
no, I didn't know that was a detail of it.
Yeah, and that and the director. But what he did is that he wanted to have all, like, it didn't matter, like whoever was best for the job, even if, like in this case, the main actress, she didn't have any acting credits to her name. But I mean, clearly she killed it for me. I was genuinely surprised when I found out that this was her first big film, and just like her acting, and then a lot of those scenes where she's not even talking, she's just acting with her face, and she has to show emotions to something that really isn't there, especially with a lot of like the CGI animals and stuff. I mean, she did a really good job, and I was shocked with that little tidbit where it's like, this is her first film. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
Get to
I
be
totally
a
agree.
main character in franchise.
With that all being said, I would have to say that this movie, I am going to give it a decent rating. It was solid overall. The writing was good. Had some funny moments. The action was fantastic, and the visuals on just like I think it's $65 million budget.
Yeah, it is
pretty good. Good. So for me, I gave this movie a 7.3 out of 10 is what I gave it. I think that is more than fair for it, and allows it for me that, hey, if they ever make another one, now they got a new person to watch it.
Yeah, that's good to hear. For me, I had this down as a 7.7. So
okay, so yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. Definitely. As soon as I finished watching it, I was like, "Damn, they got me again." They got me again, because for a while there, I was like, I'll get around to watching those films. And like I said, I haven't seen all of them, but when I saw this, I was like, I need another one now. I need another one. And something else too that I found out. He directed the first episode of The Boys. Fun fact.
What? Okay. That's another weird connection.
Another weird connection, but hey, I am in. If he wants to continue and do more, I mean, I know it's been 2 years, but I feel like they gotta capitalize on this. They have to, especially after like the recent ones, like The Predator that came out in 2018, bombed. It bombed. It was terrible, and they had big actors in that, and it did terrible. So I mean, in some ways, I kind of figured that's why they probably went straight to streaming. But dang, yeah, it's been in a downhill spiral for a minute there since like 2010.
These kind of movies and stuff like that, franchises always do better when they don't cast a bunch of big actors in it. You cast a small cast, you save money on the budget, make the visuals look better, and then you just get a director that's passionate for it.
Yeah, it's passionate. So, get a good screenwriter. Yeah,
but we know what's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's a one-off. It's going to be that way. I don't know why. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, but either way, I had a fun time with this film, and I'm glad that you came out enjoying it. So, yeah, there's nothing much more I can say about it. I mean, the kill. I think my favorite scene. I gotta say, my favorite scene is when they're like tied up on the post, and you just start seeing him fucking murder
Oh yeah,
everybody
all the
there.
Europeans. Yeah,
Yeah, all the year. I was like, oh my god, he's going crazy right now. He's going crazy. He's pulling out the full works right now. But yeah, that was a fun sequence to see. But yeah, what was your guys' favorite sequence in the film? Let us know down below. And would you be interested in seeing a sequel to this film? I know I definitely will. I know Josh is praying to the gods that they would do another one, but I think we both know deep down that this was a one-off, and I'm okay with that to a certain extent because you know we got this. I can always go back to it. It's on Hulu. It's on Disney Plus, so I can just watch it whenever. But yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like down below.